I don't know what just happened there. Probably parts 1 and part 2. Getting back to the improvements from using the sad light. I started using the sad light on January 1st, and my energy, and I was just showing you a cupboard that I took everything out, cleaned the bottom, reorganized it. So that's what's going on in my closets, and it feels so good. Like sometimes I'll sit there and it's like, usually now I'm like, not now. It did bother my lungs of breathing that varnish. But anyways, okay, so my energy, it's helped with constipation. It's helped with sleep, although I am taking Xanax to sleep. And I'll get off of that again too once the winter is over. But I just feel like I have been, like it's the first January, February that I've even been able to remember. Although a couple years ago we had a very mild winter when I first did my raw protocol, and I thought that's what was helping me, which I'm sure did clean me out some, although it was hell on my liver though, as you'll see. But I didn't do the B12, which I should have done. That was dumb on my part, and I take full responsibility. I do all these crazy little things here, and sometimes it works really well for people, and sometimes it doesn't. And now with MS, I'm thinking no. I have a friend who's a vegan, and she's doing actually pretty well. But her difference, like we started out on this path together to cure ourselves like 10 years ago. And I'm much worse than what I was 10 years ago, and she's about the same. Now, she is vegan. Maybe that has something to do with it. But I think the main thing is, on most winters, she would fly down with her daughter to Florida, so she would get the light. And all these years, I always thought it was the vitamin D levels for the MS, and I think a lot of people think that it's not. I mean, the vitamin D level, you have to keep it up, and you know that helps you with your hormones. But it's the light. It's the light. The light activates this. A nutritionist told me years ago I have a problem with my limbic system, and I really never knew what that was, and it has to do with a hypothalamus pituitary axis, like adrenal axis. So that is so much better. And also I'm processing and utilizing foods better. Now I am eating meat again. The shock of it all. But I can't eat it every day or I get very depressed. So kind of glad I know that. Although, again, with me using the light, I'm utilizing things so much more. Like last night, let me give you an example. Normally, my husband gets home from work, my kids home from school, we eat, and then I'm so exhausted I go to my computer and I'm like looking up stuff. Sometimes I can't even clean up the kitchen right away. I have to come back and do it. So last night, you know, that was kind of the way it was, and all of a sudden I'm like, bing. I'm like, I have so much energy right now. What do I do? I'm like, well, I'll go work out a little bit. So I went into like the third bedroom where I have like a small gym, like punched the ball a couple times, did a little bit of weights, very little. It was very little, but still. Then I'm like, oh, looking around, I'm like, I should vacuum here. So then I vacuumed in there. Then I'm looking around like, what else can I do? And I think, oh, I vacuumed another room, and then I was like, okay, I need to be realistic. And what I need to do is not necessarily do that stuff. I need to get up and walk. That's what I need to do. So I got my walker, and I walked a couple times yesterday, and it's weird because, you know, obviously my leg muscles have not been used. And when I went on the Morse protocol, I took to heart, you shouldn't really exercise, you know, while you're detoxing. Well, I took it too far, which I think a lot of people on that protocol, I think a lot of people do. They get too thin for too long. I understand when you detox, you are going to get thin, but some people are really, really thin, and it's kind of scary. But anyways, that light, I'm trying to think of other things that it's helped me with. Depression. I mean, down in the dumps. There's been a couple mornings where I wake up and I'm like, I feel like a dementor has taken over me. And that's, you know, how J.K. Rowling's, her mother had MS, and I know that's where she got the idea for the dementor, because that's how it feels, man. I sit in front of the light within 9 minutes, and it's always 9 minutes. I can tell I go from here to here. Probably about here. But then I stay, and then I kind of, like, I don't notice it, but I kind of get up here. And it's not a manic thing. I'm not like, It's just normal, regular lovely, beautiful energy. And I highly recommend it. One thing I was doing, I get onto something, it's a little bit's good, so that's really good. So I really got into the coconut oil thing, which I love, the Nativa coconut oil. I'll give you a visual on that. Let me back up the rig and get it for you. I started using this. I've had it for a long time, but I started using it, and then I read a lot about it. Dr. Mary Newport, how this can really slow down or cure Alzheimer's, and I bought the big mamba here, and so I started ingesting this a lot, even though it's a saturated fat. I just felt like I needed it, and I actually lost a little weight. It was pretty wild. I even made peanut butter cookies with this. I made oatmeal raisin. I caught the oven on fire, but that's a different story for a different day. So anyways, the peanut butter cookies were pretty good, and I ate them. I ate them with sugar and everything. Whoa. Spelt flour. I can't eat, regular wheat flour. But so I was ingesting the coconut oil, and my hair grew. I mean, I had this done. I can't really tell on this, it's kind of hard. My hair grew. I'm not exaggerating here. In 31 days, it grew this much. My hairdresser walked in. She's like, I'm like, I know. So what I'm also doing with that coconut oil now is I'm using it as a deep conditioner. I used it this morning, as a matter of fact, and it does. I'm telling you, that is the best thing ever for hair conditioning. Put it on, leave it on for at least 20 minutes, wash it out, boom. And it comes out like you don't really look like a grease ball, like with some things. But that, and my nails grew so nice. Now, what happened to me was I was doing too much of that. My blood sugar, because it's so good for diabetes, and I have the opposite. I have hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. It was bottoming me out terrible that I had to, boom, stop it all for a few days. And today, like, I had a cookie this morning, and I could tell my blood sugar. I was kind of like... So, anyways, I have to use that sparingly. But I think as my body gets more on track with being able to process fats, that's going to be much, much better. Now, that being said, I have never, ever in 17 years had anything that has given me improvement this much for a consecutive amount of time, especially at this time of the year. Holy crap. So I feel like this winter I'm not going to accrue any damage for the first time. And not only that, like, I'm having improvements already with energy. Oh my God. And in my I don't want to call it depression, but with my mood, energy, and my well-being. I know I'm kind of getting over here. My well-being is so much better. I just feel like I'm more within myself, and I'm not as fragmented and all over the place. Now, other things too, like, I just find myself caring about other things where I normally wouldn't. And it's kind of hard to explain. I've been so degenerating for so long that now I feel like my horrors are finally moaning. Corny, I know. But anyways, so, I know some people with MS watch these videos, and I highly recommend the sad light in the morning. Now, that being said, of course, I did too much, at first, because I got so excited. And what was happening, like, there's days I was in front of it for 3 hours. Wow. And that was a mistake, because then I would start getting heart palpitations. So that was kind of my little meter. Too much. So I had to cut back down on that. And right now, I would say, like, today I had to do it twice. I can just kind of tell with my body now, because I've done it for a couple months. Like, in the morning, I'll get up and at least do it for like 30 to 40 minutes at least. I have it right by my computer. Actually, I can't remember if I don't think I showed it to you. I'll show it to you. And then I'm going to have to end this video because I just get so chatty. So, anyways, Tess is laying in her bed. Oh, crap. Here, I'll show you that too. I'm probably going to biff this. There's Tessa. laying in her bed, feeling the sun. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and show you the light. It's actually a bigger one. And the book that I read from Rosenthal, I can't remember his last name, but he's like the sad light guru, seasonal affective disorder guru. And he states that for it to be therapeutic, again, it needs to be 10,000 lux. And it should be, I think it's 10 by 10, like 10 inches by 10 inches. Mine's a little bit bigger than that, but actually I'm kind of glad I got the mother load because I need it. Now, here it is right here. Okay, so, and then what there is, there's where it says Happy Light, and then it says Verilux. I know it's hard to see. The switch for it is up. Up here is just a little on-off button. I'm just beside myself. I don't know if I should say this publicly, but I'm going to. I know I'll be walking, again, with the help of this. It's regulating my hormones, and it is the best thing I've ever done. Ooh, the sun just went in. Wow, now it's like nighttime. Anyways, I hope all of you are doing well, and if any of you, know somebody or have MS yourself and you've come across something that's helped you, I would love to hear it in the comments below. There's Tessa. She's kind of been down because we haven't been able to get out, but it's really, I mean, I have organized my house and cleaned my house, everything, like even the hutch. I mean, just getting rid of things, getting out. And it's almost like it's a correlation with the way my house is the way my body is. So anyways, I'm going to let you go with that, I should say, and I hope everyone's doing fine, and